Good morning. Hi, Dad.
Hey, good morning to you and everybody listening or will be
Thank
listening.
you. Happy Shamanic Sundays to you and greetings to our community. Happy Shamanic Sundays. Good to see you all here. Heather's already saying good morning. She's gotten ready to accomplish some stuff, feeling motivated. That's great. We love hearing how you all are. Please share with us how the rest of you are doing, how you're feeling this morning. And yeah, just a reminder that Shamanic Sundays was inspired to continue the bridge building work that you've been doing for 55 plus years, Poppy, as a carrier of wisdom from your indigenous mentors that gifted you with so many teachings, and how you've taken those teachings and brought them out into the world to help address the challenges of the times. And Nicole and I super grateful to have grown up with that, and so Shamanic Sunday is a way to bring that forward and share with the world more. So, hello from Sweden and Santa Fe. Good to have you all here.
Right.
Um, so, Dad, can you start us off with a prayer of gratitude? Starting off with giving thanks before we ask for more.
Yeah, certainly
Hey, Roger.
a pleasure to be asked to do a prayer of gratitude because we're been given 24/7 all the time of our lives. We're just constantly being given by the creative powers of the universe for our lives and that which sustains our lives. And so, to the extent that we don't take time on a regular basis to stop and really reflect on all the gifts of grace in our lives, no matter what the challenges are, uh, it creates an imbalance. And so any opportunity that presents itself to say, hey, thank you to the creating uh, dynamic wisdom power of the universe, whatever you want to call that. Thank you, great mystery, for this gift of life and for this day and for the gifts of creation and this beautiful world we live on in. And thank you for our families and our ancestors and the ancestor spirits of the land that we live on. Thank you for your lives. We remember you here, and blessings for your people, and with prayers for healing of all the conflict, for ceasefires, prayers for ceasefires where all the violence is taking place, and for an opening of consciousness to the practices of nonviolent communication to be able to resolve the conflicts peacefully and in ways that address the root causes of violence. So the opportunity we have in being in this world, we can create the kind of world that we're capable of creating, a peaceful and just and diverse and healthy and happy win-win world for all. And may it be so, and may we each of us show up feel empowered to make a positive difference toward that end. Fullest blossoming, greatest good. May it be so. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, we talked a lot about cultivating peace last week. So I want to remind everyone that the recordings are on Tom's YouTube channel, YouTube/, Dr. Tom Pinkson. So, and there's a playlist actually with all the Shamanic Sundays recordings. So you can listen to those at any time. But the question we got, hold on, let me go pull it up. Sorry, I forgot to pull it up ahead of time. But how are you this morning, Dad? I forgot to ask.
I'm doing good, and I just feel gratitude for you doing all this technical stuff that I don't have a clue about to make this happen. So
Yep.
thank you for you and your vision and your stay the course. Showing up to do what's called for you to do in a good way with a good heart. So I appreciate you and all you do.
You're
Oh,
welcome. Your tech crew, me and Roger, right? And various other helpers along the way.
oh, many, many. It takes a whole tribe to keep me going straight, semi straight, whatever,
Yeah. Yep.
round.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's see. So we got this in an email from Brianna, emailed us in saying, can you talk more, please, about how we remember that we are worthy?
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Brianna, for asking your question and sending it in. And And how can we remember? Was that the word that was
Yeah, remember that we are worthy. And
worthy?
I would venture to say that that ties in with cultivating peace too, which, was the way we kicked off this morning. Because if
Yeah.
each of us felt worthy, we wouldn't need to go out and hurt others, maybe. But
Well, that's
I'll
true.
let you speak on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Doug.
But that's true what you said. Worthy. How do we remember we're worthy? Well, for me, it's reflecting on where I came from, what I'm made from, how it is that stardust coming from energy from the sun um, to the earth uh, manifests in life and the diversity of life from when it first began on this planet 4 billion some years ago, as far as we know, and what it's evolved to the point where we're able to consciously self-reflect on the whole process of being alive and the universe itself. So I'm a product of the universe. We're made by the creative powers of the universe. We weren't made, in Walmarts or something. We're made by the creative powers of the universe that know how to create the diversity, the incredible diversity and beauty of the universe. A little while ago, I was outdoors in the garden and looking at these cactus plants that send up within a couple of weeks, like shoots of new life, like 3, 4 feet high, just straight up. Unbelievable beauty and blossoming of the flowers on our what's it called, a lion's tail plant that just draws hundreds of bees and monarch butterflies and hummingbirds just pulsating throughout the day with taking the nectar from what comes up from the earth and this creation from a plant and feeds life and then how those pollinators feed other life that gives us life and the interconnectedness of it all. And so it's an incredible, amazing, if we really pay attention, creative manifestation of a wisdom power that knows how to make such beauty and sustain it. And we're part of that, and it's in us. And so we're worthy of, as all of creation, of respect for recognition that we're manifestations of the wisdom creating power of the universe that holds an innate seed, you might say, or drive to try to fulfill our highest potentials in this life. That's within us. I love the saying from what's his name? It's a mystic in the 10th or 11th century, I forget his name, who said something to the effect, apple seeds grow into apple trees under the right circumstances, and pear seeds under the right cultivating circumstances grow into pear trees. And we have God seed within us. We have God seed within us. And to me, don't get hung up about the word God one way or the other. But just think in terms of the creative wisdom power of the universe. We have that power in us. It's in us. We're embedded in it. It's embedded in us. And so it invites us to recognize and understand the sacred unity of all of life, of all of creation. There's no such thing as a separate thing. And it's just an amazing, manifesting, beautiful, fantastic expression of basically love energy, an energy of love underlying deepest essence of who and what we are that creates such beauty. It gives us teachings and lessons when we pay attention to nature to how to live with it in harmony and balance, sustain life, which we've forgotten how to do. And so we're doing the opposite. And so the system's feeding back to us in the ways that it is to wake up and remember the truth of who we are, that we're way more than our egos. We're way more than our physical bodies, or way more than our stories, our ego-based stories of who and what we are. We're way more than that. We are that seed of the universe. And so to respect the understanding, with the understanding of respect for us as beings of sacred creation, from a sacred, mysterious power that creates us and sustains our life. That we're all worthy of reverence, of recognition that there were sacred beings. We're worthy of respect, and caring, and tenderness, and compassion, and support, and kindness, and celebration as worthy beings, not because of anything we've accomplished or done, but just the sheer fact of grace that we exist as human beings in this life, delicate, tender, strong, beautiful, weak, magnificent beings of potential. So that's to me how one of the ways I remember is that I'm a sacred, worthy being is just to go out and being in nature and watch it unfold itself over time. Watch how trees go through their cycles, and bushes and plants and new life that comes up from there. Watch the cycles, and they teach us about how to live in harmony and balance with the ever-changing conditions and manifestations of the universe, the sacred mystery. It is a sacred mystery. And in Western science, we only understand 6% of what's going on. And dark energy and dark matter, don't know what it is. Know some of its effects, but we don't know what it is. We don't know how it's working. So respect for the sacred mystery and humility in the face of sacred mystery, and accept the fact and celebrate the fact that we are sacred, worthy, luminous beings. We are stardust come to earth, brought to life. And learn how the practices of what it means to polish up our stardust, and go inside and see where our pipes are clogged up, and do the necessary inner plumbing work to unplug those pipes so that sacred light and love that pours in with each breath can flow through us and heal and empower and inspire us, and light us up as channels for that healing light and love to go out into the world for the healing of the sacred hoop. We're not here by accident. We have worth in being here, and meaning and purpose in being here, and that's to wake up and wise up and live love now. Right. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it strikes me that that
oops, I can't hear you.
you can't hear me. Hello?
Frozen up, and I can't.
Hello, hello. Can you hear
Oops,
me better now?
connection lost. Reconnecting. I hope so.
I hope you reconnect. Let's just
Okay,
give
go ahead.
this
I
a minute.
think your face is frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to turn off my video then for a second. Just maybe that will help. Hold on just a second. But my question is about, like, kind of going back into what you were saying about unclogging the pipes of remembering your worthiness, right? And
Yeah.
and and I think of like how fortunate, I incredibly blessed. Fortunate's not even enough of a strong word, to be born to parents like you and mom, and what a gift that is, like, beyond measure. And yet I still feel like there's been so many things that, have happened, that have happened to me or around me, that, have made me feel less than worthy sometimes too. So, um, and the reason I share about like who I was born to, because I guess the point I want to make is, like, whatever situation we're born to, I think that may be part of life, is like things try to kind of not try to, but there's forces that want to push you down, or make you feel unworthy. So I'm imagining that that most of our community has had at least one experience like that in life. So I was thinking, maybe for our visualization today, if you could guide us into a place where we might remember something that that has made us feel unworthy, and that is possibly preventing us, clogging our pipes from shining, as you said, shining our stardust. And that could be our visualization today. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay,
Let
cool.
me just first I have to make sure I'm grokking, using Heinlein's term from long
Rocking.
ago, getting your meaning of what you're asking.
Yep.
So I'm responding to truly what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to repeat it? Because I
Oh,
tend to get
no,
wordy,
no,
kind of like
no,
someone else
no,
I know.
just let me just be with my process. I'm a slow digester, so bear with me here. When something triggers our a sense of unworthiness in us, um, go inside to try to recall an instance of when our sense of the story, let's call it the story of our unworthiness, began to play in our conscious minds. It was activated, and then how to work with that. Am I getting that?
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So taking like I thought, just given the question about worthiness today, um, the visualization to help us get in touch with what's clogging the pipes and then being able to let that go and move back into a state of worthiness
All
so we can
right. So
polish
suffering.
up and shine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what comes up for me then is suffering.
Yeah.
You
Trauma
look, well,
being
just looking at the experience of
suffering.
suffering in the moment.
Yep.
We've all been
Yeah.
wounded. Everybody in life has been wounded in one way or another. Ain't nobody walking around who hasn't been wounded by one thing or another. And those of us born in Western Eurocentric culture, we're wounded by the culture itself, which is some say is like a mind virus that's hypnotized us and deluded us into the perception of separation. And from that comes fear, and from fear comes violence. So we've all been wounded. Uh, the only issue is how do we create a response, a relationship to the wounds of our lives, one that leaves us in victimhood, which is basically what our culture teaches us to do, really, or one that teaches us how to work with the wounds and all the feelings and suppressing or denying no feelings or thoughts or sentiments or impacts of the wound, but going to all of it with a conscious awareness to create a relationship to it, to see what can I learn from this? What might I be able to learn from this that has the potential to enrich me in my experience of my life, as hard as the teaching is, as hard as the wound is. And example, my father died when I was 3.5 years old, which was totally destructively impactful in my life. So suffering, if we're experiencing suffering in the moment, by some stimuli of a situation that's perhaps activated what's in our pipes from the wound or wounds of our lives, how to work with that? How might we be able to, excuse me, cleaning out the pipes here, cleaning out the pipes with the breath in and the breath out. And that in and of itself, just the fact that I was having trouble for a moment coughing and getting my breath air out and air out means I had to slow down and drop deeper inside. And when the pipes are clogged up, that itself is suffering we're experiencing a result of the clogged pipes is an alarm system going off, bringing our consciousness to looking at what's the truth of what I'm feeling and sensing in this moment in my suffering. What are the thoughts that are running through my mind? What are the stories that are running through my mind? What role might I be playing, consciously or unconsciously, in contributing to my suffering right now, in this moment? And opening awareness to see, to kind of catch that in awareness without any judgment, without any guilt or shame, or just noticing what thoughts and stories I might be telling myself, such as, I'm not worthy of love. And then mind coming up with 20 reasons of proof about why I'm not worthy of love, or why I'm not worthy of success, financial success, romantic success, health success, success in whatever level you're interested in. Why I don't deserve this. To be not just survive in life, but thrive in life. And what does that even mean, to thrive in life, and especially these trying times? So we don't have any power to change what we don't see and face. And so when I'm feeling suffering, I'm experiencing suffering in some way. My energy's constricted or tight, or I'm sad, or I'm angry, or I'm in judgment, or I'm depressed, or I'm despairing, or I'm judgmental, or I'm whatever it might be, experiencing suffering and sadness and grief. Um, Plenty of reasons for grief in the world today with what's happening. So looking at and allowing and creating safe space for the truth of whatever I'm experiencing to express itself. So I'm not denying it or projecting it or projecting it onto someone else or something else, but just being with whatever the truth is that I'm experiencing. Healing comes from joining with the truth of what is. We don't have to like what is, but like the violence in Gaza. I don't like that. God, it's horrible. But it is. It is. And it triggers the feelings, all the feelings in me and whatever feelings it triggers in you and our listeners. That's real. It's happening for us. We're experiencing it. And our feelings help us pay attention to what's most important. And then how to nurture what's most important. So is it most important for us to respond to violence with more violence and kill the perpetrators of the violence? Is that going to bring lasting peace? Is that going to bring harmony? Is that going to bring resolution of conflict? No, it just perpetuates the violence. And so what's most important to me? What's most important to you? Is I don't know what it is for you, but for me, it's to try to do all I can to actualize the potential I know we have as human beings to create a peaceful and just and healthy and happy and beautifully diverse win-win world for all beings, not just two-legged people beings, but all of creation. I was a couple of days ago. I was on my way to a retreat I was leading that night, and I stopped by Mother Ocean to get a little extra energy to help with that prayer circle we were doing that night. And I stood on the step above some steps leading down to the ocean, right next to a telephone pole that had been cut in like a quarter, so it was about 5 feet high up from the ground, and I was about a foot away from it as I was facing the ocean. And all of a sudden, a full-grown seagull landed dramatically on that post, which is a foot away from my face, and it was looking straight at me. It was not budging. It was just looking fiercely straight at me. And I was just struck by the power of what was happening and just took it in, just open. I thanked the seagull for its life and for coming to me. And then I just opened to knowing it wasn't by accident this was happening, that Spirit was trying to use this situation to bring through something that was important for me to get, especially going into a prayer circle. So I opened my mind to receive what was being offered there through interspecies communication, you might say. And it came through very clearly. Said, Tomás, you're going to pray for people. Don't just pray for two-legged people. Pray for the winged people too. We're suffering. Our lives are in danger. Pray for the swimming people. Pray for the four-legged people. Pray for all the people. And so taking the time when we're suffering to go inside and listen to our feelings that produce those feelings of suffering and looking at two things. What role am I playing by the story I'm telling myself that is contributing to my pain and suffering? And what can I learn from this pain and suffering? And how can I create a response to it that reopens my consciousness to reconnect and attune and commune with the deeper underlying reality of Great Spirit's presence, infinite light, infinite love, infinite peace underneath the storm waves on the surface of what's happening, dropping down to that deeper place that's always there at the center of our being through grace, and being able to sink our roots into that deeper inner peace and that source of connection to wisdom, guidance, strength, perseverance to keep going through adversity, and strengthening our resilience to be able to wake up and wise up, and in this moment of being alive, live, love now. Bring through what in the ceremony is called sweet medicine. and reflect on what is sweet medicine: kindness, caring, nurturance, support, appreciation, compassion. Sweet medicine. These hard times, we're called on to bring through sweet medicine. And part of cleaning the pipes is when we're feeling unworthy, look at the story that we're telling ourselves that creates that feeling and sense we're unworthy. That's just a story. Pull the plug on it. It's not based on truth. Put your attention into what's true. Your pipes get shinier. You get stronger, more juice. I am a sacred. We are sacred, worthy beings. We are love, and our love is forgiving. Fullest blossoming, greatest good for all of us on this day, and through us out into all of our relations for the healing of the sacred who. May it be so. Hope. Hey, hope.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That made me think of being on Vision Quest once. I think it was my second Vision Quest. So I would have been like 14 or 15 years old. And one of the questers talked about going down, like his vision of going down deep into like a cave, and it was like lined with jewels all along the walls, that he couldn't like get to them because he was like feeling kind of nauseous and from fasting, which I could totally relate to because that happens to me when I fast. And but he had to like somehow, about it was something around like having to just like clean out the things that were causing him the nausea before he could reach and actually touch and fully feel and see the jewels. So that just reminded me of that. So thank you to Michael for that vision back in many years ago. And thank you for you, Dad, for sharing that wisdom teaching with us. And yeah, really always good to be here.
Oh,
Thank you all for being here so much and for sharing your what's up for you today. And someone asked about where to email questions. I can't find that now, but you can. Most of them just come into Tom's email, which is on his website, Tom Pinkson at gmail.com, or you can email me, Kimberly Pinkson1, like the number 1 at gmail.com. So you can always send those more to us, and you are worthy.
hey, we're all worthy. Hope.
Yep. Have a
Trust.
good week ahead. Thank you for being here. Please share Shamanic Sundays with friends or family, colleagues who you think could also be of getting some good juice from it. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Any
Oh,
parting words, Pops?
praise be. Hallelujah. Thank you for the blessing that you are all listening. You are a blessing in this life. You have sacred gifts to carry that the world needs. So take good care of yourself and bring them through. Hope.
Those good words for us. Thank you again. Mwah, mwah.
Mwah.
Bye. See you
Bye.
next week.